Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we're going to be talking about the letters that everybody has been receiving in the mail. Everybody's getting these golden tickets and you guys seem super excited about it. I wish I could have made this video earlier because some of you guys have been receiving them as early as like a week or a week and a half ago, and that means that you guys have been DMing me constantly letting me know that this is going on. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that tried to give me a heads up. I actually received 2 of the letters, so I've got 2 different B58, so I got 2 letters, one for each car, and we're just going to kind of read through it to help make sure you guys understand exactly what this means for you as a B58 owner and what you can do to take advantage of this great opportunity that BMW is extending to us to fix their problem. So we'll go ahead and talk about the details, and hopefully you guys find this video useful.
Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future.
So what's actually going on here, and I don't want to read through the whole document. I don't think you guys want to hear me do that. So maybe at the end, I'll just post a screenshot of everything. So that way, if you guys want to read the exact wording, you can do that. But basically what this is telling us is that BMW is extending the warranty on our PCV system. And we've known for a while that this is one of the biggest issues with the B58 engine. And on the Gen 1, the repair has gotten a lot easier since we found out that, you can just swap out the cap, replace that diaphragm, and get back on the road. And what we noticed is over the past couple months, a lot of these companies that we've been buying the diaphragm kits from are actually selling them to BMW dealerships. And so I just thought that was really interesting. I remember maybe a year or so ago, BimmerNetwork said they got an order of like 100 PCV caps from, Jim Bob BMW in Kentucky or whatever. So obviously these dealerships and BMW is starting to figure out that this was an easier way to do the replacement. And the good news is BMW actually sells just the top diaphragm replacement now. They added it to their full part system so you can log on and identify it yourself. The part number is 111210254447. So if you put that into any updated BMW part site, you'll be able to find what they call like the pressure control valve repair kit. And now it's actually built into their system. So when you look at the valve cover diagram, instead of just showing the valve cover, it also shows the separate PCV item as that like item number 19. So yeah, BMW separated it out, gave it its own part number, and now you can buy it separately from them as well. Now, going through the wording on here, there are a couple things to consider. So first of all, the extended warranty is going out for 15 years or 150,000 miles. And this is based on the individual vehicle. So I bought my 440i new, I got a letter for that. I bought my 340i used, I got a letter for that as well. So any car that you have with the B58 engine that is less than 15 years old and has less than 150,000 miles will be covered under this warranty. So it doesn't matter if you're the original owner, second owner, third owner. Basically, this lasts for the life of the vehicle, within these boundaries. The other thing it seems to indicate is that they are just replacing the diaphragm. So it actually specifically says, over time, the pressure control valve's rubber diaphragm may fail, causing insufficient engine oil separation. And so what they're going to do is just replace that diaphragm. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with them creating that part number. So now the repair is a lot easier. There are other ways that the PCV system can fail. Typically, it's from high boost levels, and then you can damage things internally in the valve cover and damage check valves, and that will require replacing the entire valve cover anyway. This is more for those people that are idling their cars for a long time, and then it blows out, big puff of smoke, you get misfires and an oil smell and all that stuff. This will repair those issues. They also specify that this is not a notice for a recall or service action. And so what I'm reading into that is to mean this is not an upgrade. This is not something that you can just go to BMW and ask them to replace it in advance. It needs to fail before they're going to repair it. And I really don't think an upgrade is available. They just replace it with another stock unit. And that's kind of a part of the reason why I've been telling people I'm not going to recommend that you replace it every 50,000 miles, 100,000 miles, or whatever. The unit itself is typically fine until it gets under a stressful situation that can damage the diaphragm, usually from idling the car too long. So whether it's brand new or it's been used 100,000 miles, it's pretty much susceptible to the same failure. Now, another bit of good news is BMW has committed to pay people back if you've paid out of pocket to have this repair done in the past. So specifically on your letter, it should say reimbursement for qualifying customer pay repair is available to the BMW owner or lessee who incurred the expense. So that means that, if you got it replaced at a BMW dealership, the process should be pretty simple. You can get that information and submit it for reimbursement. Or if you're one of the people that just bought a kit online and did the job yourself, find that invoice and you should be able to send it into BMW to get reimbursed. And they have kind of like a checklist and some paperwork on the back that you can follow through. And if all the answers to the checklist are yes, you did the repair yourself, used OEM quality parts and all of that, and it's within the warranty period, then you should be able to submit it for a reimbursement. Now, it should go without saying, but this warranty doesn't cover absolutely everything. So first of all, of course, if your car is outside of the warranty period, I don't think anybody's cars are over 15 years yet, but if you have over 150,000 miles, your only option is to get paid back for previous repairs that were done if you own the car when those repairs were paid for. Also, it does not cover aftermarket repairs. So if you did a PCV delete, if you installed a catch can or anything like that, no, this will not pay for those aftermarket installs. It's actually a little bit fuzzy on how it documents, the OEM quality components. I don't know if you bought a kit online and you can just show that it's OEM quality if they'll cover it, or if you specifically needed to buy it from a BMW dealership. But I think it's at least worth a shot. The one thing I did notice is if you buy it from a BMW dealership, it's over $200. It's like 200 or 250 bucks on a lot of these websites. Whereas, the kits that we're buying online from companies that have been selling it for a while are usually around 50 bucks. But it is what it is. They're only going to be paying for OEM replacements because that's what you would get if you went to a BMW dealership, and they can't guarantee the quality of an aftermarket component. So just keep that in mind. That might be a point of contention if you try to submit for reimbursement. Now, one other thing I'd like to touch on is I think this is just a really good example that debunks a really just bad narrative a lot of people try to share. They say dealerships and companies don't care about what happens to your car outside of warranty because you're paying them for all of these parts and they make all this money. And I think examples like this show that it's really not that cut and dry, especially with problems that are chronic in the BMW community. They have to do something to try to address it. I think customer retention is a lot more important to them than you guys think. And anybody that knows business knows keeping a customer is a lot easier than finding a new customer. And even down at the bottom of the sheet, it says, our product's integrity is essential to BMW's success and your trust. We're determined to exceed those expectations and hope this warranty extension will further enhance your ownership experience. And stuff like that. I mean, when I worked in the automotive space, we all worked along the same lines. When stuff impacts a customer outside of the warranty period, usually it's worse, not only because you don't get the information, but it has a much more lasting impact when they're paying for it out of pocket. So making moves like this is definitely going in the right direction. Hopefully we can see more things like this for the different issues that people tend to run into. But it is just nice to see that they're really owning up to it and taking responsibility for the problem. Now, I think even better yet, maybe they could just design it right the first time, but that's probably a conversation for another day. So yeah, I'll post again a screenshot of the entire letter. So if you guys want to read through that, you can. Everybody that owns a BMW with a Gen 1 B58 should be receiving this at some point. And even if you haven't received a letter, just know your car is covered under this warranty if it has the Gen 1 B58 as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.